Good morning, everybody. Hopefully, you're having a great day today. Let's get into it. We are checking out some positions here. We'll be monitoring that CTM position. We're down a little bit there. Rigetti is down a little bit to start the day. Nothing big. We could see about 0.75%. And we're going to take a look at some opportunities. Hopefully, you guys are having a good one today. We are entering Wednesday here, about 1 minute before market open. And we are going to see what opportunities we have available. There's a lot of opportunities we're going to see related to. You can see a lot of the companies down a little bit here at market open. There's a lot of opportunities. We'll be looking in quantum today. We'll be looking in robotics. We'll be looking in space tech. Definitely we'll be looking here in AI. You can see SPY is down about 1%. So now market just opened and we're in it. So let's take a look here. And someone says that they are in BBAI and they're hoping for a bounce here. Interesting. Yeah, BBAI I would expect to sell off a little bit. We made a video about it yesterday. I mean, it's very hyper bullish. Let's see. Let's check this. Yeah, I mean it's that's not even BBAI. I'm like, this doesn't look like BBAI. Okay, so we're looking to take advantage of some dips here. So BBAI, someone said. How's BBAI look? There it is. So BBAI has been very bullish. You can see this hyper bullish trend. And good morning, Conan. Good morning, Kameen. Scary day today. Let's stick together. Yeah, so we are live today with more people than usual. Part of the reason why today is because we got 300 likes on a video that we said if we get 300 likes on this video, we will do one live session available to the public. So that's why we're here. So BBAI, again, it's at the support, but it's in this hyper bullish move. I would imagine it's going to sell off a little bit. Okay, so C. Wilson says, good morning, Will. Love your content. Hey, greetings. Good morning, everybody. I hope by March I can buy BBAI, but until then I am looking for something else. So far, just putting something on CTM every time it goes below $1. CPI data came higher than expected. Good morning. All right. So what I'm looking at here is potentially some dips that we could take advantage of. We know that there's some sell-offs here at market open. What was Tesla doing today? You can see Tesla has been, this is the inverse of Tesla, has been doing very well. And what earnings do we have going on this week? Let's drop into Stockmates. Today we have Robinhood after hours. Most of our big tech we got yesterday. The only one notable here is Robinhood and Generac. So we'll take a look there. Okay, so someone says, it seems like every time Jerome Powell speaks, the market drops. And then Kang says, time for shopping. Yeah, so the market was down about, 1%. So again, we're shopping. We're looking for entries on potential positions. We are down about 1% on the portfolio. Let me take a look here. So quantum, still down about 0.5%. There's Rigetti stock. That's market open. Somewhat of recovery seems to be happening there. Let's see on the smaller time frame if we have any other opportunities. We're going to look in quantum, start to see this recovery. Looks like pre-market it was down to $10.68 right now. It's at $11, starting to push up a little bit there. I like that recovery because you see right here market after hours yesterday was around 1170 Rigetti stock. And then D-Wave QBTS is kind of a similar pattern. You see that recovery happening. Kind of like that. Okay, so let's take a look here. If we first green day on Monday in ages and then right back down yesterday, it hurts. I feel ya. I feel ya, Eddie. Okay, so let's take a look at where we can get in. What we're looking for is, again, we are in a live session right now. It's a StockMate live session. About 99 times out of 100, this is a private session. The reason it's public today is because we got a ton of likes. I told you guys if we get a ton of likes on this video, we will do one StockMate live trading for free for everybody to watch. So let me see here in our live trading. We are simply now identifying what trades we can pick out for the day today. And so that is how it looks. Okay, so we're gonna take the next few minutes here to identify more of the dip buys. So we see these sell-offs happening. The market is down. Space tech in general was down. You can see most of the space tech industry is down. Rocket Lab's down about 2%. We get over again to quantum. Quantum is pushing up a little bit. You start to see it get a little bit positive there and start to see this recovery start to happen. It's interesting. I like that. And then Google is down, Microsoft's down, Nvidia is down. And then again, we get over to AI. We can see still here that CTM dropping, and I don't really want to be in a position where we aren't capitalizing on some of these dips. So we're gonna look and get into something here in the next second. I'm just kind of waiting, seeing how much the market is going to sell off. You know, a lot of times we're just kind of being patient, seeing how much, because we're here at quantum. When we're in the market at market open, a lot of times we're saying, how much further can this sell off? Starting to see a recovery. Let's see if it breaks above this 200-day moving average. Rigetti. And if it does, that might be indication for a buy. So again, we're just patiently waiting for this potential buy. See how much more of a sell-off we can get here. All right, it's breaking above that 200-day moving average. I'm going to move some of my position over into Rigetti for a minute here. We're in it. We're most likely do markets. Something's not right. My order's not going through. Okay. We are seeing the break above the SMA, but something with my order is not executing, so we're just going to take an extra minute here and see what's going on. That's weird. Trying to execute an order, it's not going through. Thomas Rose says, good morning. And let's see. Lika says GRRR. Let's take a look. Someone says there's a bull in the clouds. BBAI, I believe, is what you're talking about. Up 6%, but only had 20 shares. It's awesome, Sam. Congratulations. AJ Gat says CTM can we pick them more? LAES has been an interesting one for sure. Saw that pattern start to develop. Sam, 12%. I mean, on BNAI. Is that supposed to be BBAI or BNAI? And then Ryan Simpson says, why is CTM not on 212? Okay. One of the issues that I'm having is I'm looking at my orders, and when I try and execute it, it's like not going through. I'm not really sure what's going on. Let me refresh this page. That's weird. How many of you guys? Oh, something's not working. Wow, look at that. Look at that. It's not working. That's interesting. Okay, let's try again. Okay, looks like the market is not allowing me to trade at this moment. That's quite rare. Never had that happen here. Okay, I have an idea. So what we could do is we'll head on over to our new app that we have going, and let's take a look at the markets and take a look. Oh my gosh. No, I have no idea what to do. Today is a sus day. My brokerage just isn't allowing me to sell there. That's crazy. Let me see if I can execute orders on my cell phone. That would be interesting. And let's see if there's any news around this. Okay, well, that's one thing we know. If we go over to the earnings, Robinhood reports earnings today after hours. They're gonna need some good earnings because right now their app is not working. Okay, I'm in CTM stock and it's recovering. And for some reason the page is not allowing me to log in, and it's not allowing me to buy or sell on my mobile device. Yeah, it's not letting me buy or sell on my mobile device. That's absurd. Whew. All right. Next steps. Next steps. Let's see. There was nothing else that was talking about this. Let's refresh. Is there anything else? Let's just try on X. What do we have going on? This is interesting. Okay. I am going to I'm going to send a message here. Robinhood charts are not working. And buying and selling not working on Robinhood, Legend, or my mobile device. Okay, that is interesting. You know, it's funny because I think it was a couple of weeks ago I was using this. I'm not able to even trade, so I guess that's a bummer because this is like the one day where we go live for the public, and then okay, someone says Paul says I can't trade either. It's not working for me. And then Sam says this is weird. I can trade and I have the app. That's really interesting. I'm not sure like what's going on there, but if we go to my profile, you guys can see first that I say that I have 3,500 subscribers. That's how fast we're growing, guys. We're over 14,000 now. You guys are amazing. Can't believe that. I need to update my my Twitter or my X there. But there was somewhere here like not long ago where I basically said to Robinhood that I said, hey, the Robinhood Legend is not working. This was January 5th. I said Robinhood Legend is not working at Robinhood, and then Robinhood said, thanks for your patience, we fixed the issue. But this happened one other time back in January, and I let them know, and nobody let them know like that I didn't see anything. And then they were like, oh yeah, we fixed it. So let's see what's going on. Is it working now? Yep, looks like it's working. I mean, good thing my portfolio is only down 0.5%. Could you imagine if something like that happened and you couldn't sell and the market was crashing, or you couldn't even buy, and not just you, but everybody couldn't sell? That would be rough. Okay. I like Robinhood. C. Wilson says, congratulations. Well, I bet you're referring to us getting more subscribers. Yeah, it's like, it's actually really cool. Like, I get emotional. You guys are amazing. When you see 3,500 subscribers on YouTube and 3,575, like I was counting, and I'm like, yeah. And we go back and now we're like 15,000. That's really cool. Okay, so let's take a look here. Rigetti stock is above this moving average, so now indicating more of a buy. So that's a good move to see that dip is kind of confirming that it is looking like a buy. What other companies are moving today? I didn't mean to click on that one. I was trying to click on this stock. This has been a really interesting stock. I didn't really like when I did the research on LAES, but now that we could see all these stocks and I can look at them, let's see. I believe we're extra patient today. Things felt a little bit different today with the movements that we're seeing. So what we're gonna do, GRRR, you see that one. So GRRR is up to $22.50. It's up 8% today. And I believe this GRR, you know, we just covered this quite a bit. I don't know if we could go see some of the coverage we had on GRRR. Last we covered it was here on February 6th. So last week. It has a really consistent trend. Now it looks almost a little overextended right at market open. It's up 7%. Not going to get into it. It's just a little too high, I think. But here's the deal. We're looking at Rigetti. It's up 1%. If it follows the rest of the market, you see QBT is up 5% there. I'm seeing the start of a fill here. So we're going to get in here to Rigetti stock. So we're going to do markets, I like the recovery. Okay. All right, so we just got in right here as it's starting to break above this SMA. And so now we're going to monitor this position. Some of the plan here with Rigetti, what we would expect is it's going to fill some of this pre-market and after hours range. You know, it's sold down quite a bit. We saw it sell down here to $10.76. And then as it's starting to recover, waited for some more indication that it was going to break above this moving average. This moving average, you can see like in a bull market or a bear market, sorry, see when this line is going down, the chart is going down, oftentimes it's getting rejected. Okay. Once we start to see it cross over, try and stay above it, but then cross back down, and then now it's trying to break above here. I see that as more indication that we potentially could see it fill some of this value up here into this $11.50 range. And so now we're going to watch this closely. Rigetti stock, if we just kind of look at the past few months, we can see that it has, you know, despite some of the big sell-offs, I get rid of these charts. There we go. But despite some of the big sell-offs, it has been, you know, staying fairly consistent in this uptrend, and I like to see it. So now we're seeing it continue to possibly keep this trend, and if it keeps this trend, you know, we're actually seeing it. We are seeing it kind of keep this trend, and now, you know, now we're in this point where Rigetti stock and the rest of the quantum market kind of gets back into stride. We saw this big sell-off, this big crash here from the comments from NVIDIA's CEO, and he basically said quantum computers are 15, 20 years away, and we get it. That is going to crash the market. But then what happens? We go over to these companies. We hear them talk about their tech. They changed their headlines on their website to quantum is now. And some of their partners include NVIDIA, Microsoft, Amazon, Google. And they changed it. So that was a big crash from some comments from CEO. And at this point now they're saying quantum is now. I think it was D-Wave here. Not Q-Wave, but we'll have to check that one out. Not Q-Wave. D-Wave. They changed their website too to say the power of quantum computing realized today. So they're saying we're doing it right now. So basically we are looking at these stocks and saying, yeah, those comments, they're an overreaction. Now we start to see potentially these companies get back into stride with their overall trend. Yeah. And someone says the market's red, so it's a great buy opportunity. Yeah, I could see that. So right now we're up about $45 so far on this Rigetti stock position. Very, very small. I mean, fairly small position. Small to some, big to others. $4,200, I believe, invested. So it's already up about 1% so far. You can see we got in right here. We basically said, hey, it's starting to break above this moving average that oftentimes acts as resistance. That kind of shows bullish breakout movement. Same thing with the support here that we've seen, and it's starting to break out. And so once we had some more confirmation, started to see that pattern develop, basically bought, and now we're watching it closely. We're up about $60 right now. And so we'll be monitoring this closely. And yeah, stop loss, we don't set a stop loss, but definitely want to keep this one in the tighter range. I would expect that this is going to fill some of this value up in this $11.50 range. Up to $12 in value could be possible as we see this recovery. But in the event that this thing sells off, I'm not going to be having any too crazy of a risk management strategy. Otherwise, probably be looking to sell here around $11.10 or somewhere in there. You guys start to see it sell down a little bit here. Still got some bullish momentum. Holding above that EMA. So that's good. So we'll see how it does. So that's one of the trades for today. And today we're going to be jumping in to something I want to go over. Each morning we go live, and we usually are live from about 6:30 a.m. until somewhere between 7 and 7:15 a.m. So usually between 30 minutes and 45 minutes. Oftentimes I get into a trade, you guys see my entries, and then I let you know what my exits will look like, and I say where I'm going to exit based on this plan. And so that way we don't have a lot of emotions involved. We look at it, we say, okay, most likely would be selling here, most likely be entering here. And from there, we monitor the position. When we sign off for the day, we usually end with some positive quotes, end with some positive outlook for the day. And there's a new thing I want to try, actually. You know, other than getting you guys access to seeing me trade live and then seeing me enter the positions and then hearing what the plan is for the day or how I'm going to manage it, I would love to introduce that we start recording contents for some of the other videos that are coming out in the day of analysis of other companies. And I record it in the live session with you, so you can get my real-time analysis as I'm recording it, and then I can edit it after the live session. Because a lot of times what happens is, you know, we have our live session here. You see we're getting it pushed up to 1136. Now it's holding right around where we bought. Okay, and so we'll see how that goes. But a lot of times what happens is, see Rigetti starting to sell off a little bit there. So we'll have to monitor it closely. It's jumping between that 11.15 and 11.20. And a lot of what happens is we end the live session. And a lot of times I go and I do analysis on a lot of companies. And then we have content for the YouTube. And then I jump back into more research. And so I thought, hey, might as well just record the live sessions or record the content right here in front of you in the live session. So you get that analysis and access to our breakdowns of companies like KULR stock or NVIDIA, or maybe it's Space Tech, Rocket Lab, or Rigetti, quantum computing, or it's CTM or what have you. And we're breaking down stocks before we post videos on YouTube. You get to see me actually recording those videos and performing the research and analysis in the morning right after these live sessions in StockMate. So that most likely be something we introduce. If that's something that you'd like to see, just how many of you guys, I want to ask you if I can do that. I want to know, what do you guys think about that? Is that something you could see? It's potentially a good idea. Is that too much? And let me know in the comment section how many of you guys inside of StockMate would like to see me have those pieces of content when I'm breaking down stocks, part of the live session inside our live session in StockMate after we go through our morning live stream. How many of you guys think that would be helpful for helping you make more money or seeing some of the opportunities in the analysis early? Yeah, and I'm listening to Steve. Yeah. So Two Roads. Gabriel says Jeremy speaking to Congress again today might see the stocks sell off. Quite possible. Sajid said, and thought about Hood today. Yeah, we went over Hood earlier. They have their earnings after hours. They're expected to report more earnings related to crypto, and they definitely are going to expected to report more earnings, as I don't know if you guys remember, but right around the elections, they allowed you to essentially bet on which side you plan to win. And Robinhood made an extra, I did the math, like $150 million by adding that betting of choosing which presidents you're going to vote for. So they added that. And I think that was a bold move that will boost their revenue. So that's something. Lusty says Steve says we need longer live streams. And so again, I was listening to you guys. I got an email the other day, said, Will, I just joined StockMeet. They say, I'm really disappointed because we get these good entries and I'm in the trade. And when I start to make money on it, I'm not like selling at the right time. And I see that it would be more helpful if we had a live stream longer, because I go live for about 45 minutes each morning. And someone said that they sent me an email, and then another person sent me an email yesterday, and they said, I'm disappointed that we don't get to see more behind the scenes. And I said, yeah, let's see what we could do. And I thought, well, the reason why is because as soon as we finish our live session, I'm going and I got to do research and do analysis on stocks. And I might as well, what I could do is I could just leave that live session longer, hit record on my camera, and then give you guys the analysis early. And you get that longer live session, but I still get to get the content out for the rest of YouTube. And that might be the plan for that. So you see some sell off here with Rigetti stock. See it sell down to about $11.10. It was holding above this EMA. It's still holding above the moving average. You see that SMA. So we're just going to be a little more patient on this one. ARQQ, yeah, I see it. It's up there, 3% so far today. Longer live streams, 15 minutes before market open, so we can discuss how to trade and what to expect, see the patterns and candlesticks so we can learn with you. Yeah, I mean, potentially before market open. We'll see. 15 minutes is pretty close. You know, I'm willing to spend up to 20% in preparation of our total live stream. So if our live stream is about 30 minutes, I'm willing to spend 5 minutes extra. Today we gave about 3 minutes, I believe. But yeah, when it comes to preparation, I think that could be helpful. A lot of the preparation, again, you know, I'll do it off camera. So we could do that. And again, if you're watching the stream right now and you want to tune in for the live sessions, it's that second link down below to join StockMeet. Second link in the description. And there's a sale for you if you're tuning in specifically just to this live stream for StockMeets. We are 99 times out of 100. This is a private live stream where we're trading live, and you can get access to those live trades in StockMeet each morning at market open. Yeah, Gabru, I like what you said about that. Well, I think that's a good idea. So one of the things when we're doing these live sessions, so you see Rigetti stock sells down. It's at $11.05 now. It's starting to test this SMA. So we want to closely monitor a stock if it's right at SMA. So let's take a look here and see if it holds this level. We're going to see if it holds this level. Starting to break below. I'm going to slightly adjust the plan and execute at this support. You guys see the support here? So previous support at $11, which where it's at right now, and then there's a support right here just at $10.95. And so I'm willing to have our support there. If this trade were to go according to plan, we'd be looking in the $500 range, but right now it's down about -60. So we're just gonna monitor, see how it bounces. A healthy pattern potentially would see that it pushed up above this moving average. It's gonna retest, it's gonna bounce this support and do all of that before continuing up. Now the RSI and the MACD are selling off. One thing to ask yourself before you sell any position is, would you buy this? Would you buy this? You know, if you have an investment and you're like, oh, I wonder if I should sell this, ask yourself, would I buy this? if I could get it for the price I have it now. And when looking at this, I'd say we'd probably be waiting a little bit. We'd say I wouldn't buy this. I'd probably wait and see if it validates this support at this moment. And so that's kind of where we're at now. We're going to see if it validates the support or if it recovers. If it started to recover here and retest this EMA, that might be where we actually buy. But I wouldn't look at this right now and say, oh, I wouldn't touch this. I'm not going to buy this unless I see it just selling off past this line. So we'll see what that looks like. Looks like, yeah, the lowest I could see there is around 1091. There is some consolidation, but really this is the zone. So we'll see how it holds. So we see Ajit says, thanks so much for replying for the hood. First time in your chat, mostly see your videos. Sooner will be part of your lifetime membership. Ah, man. Hey, happy to hear that. Would be happy to have you. Michael Tucker says, just glad to be here, Will. I think this is the channel for me. Thank you. I got a lot to learn. Absolutely, Michael. I think we all have a lot to learn. And one of the awesome things is when we see these opportunities, we were just talking about this in our yesterday's live stream. When we take advantage of these opportunities, sometimes we're like, wow, that's so amazing. Look at this opportunity we got. But and where did that come from? It's so lucky, or it's the fact that that happened is crazy. But the reality is that opportunity, it was always there. The opportunity was always there. It was just a matter of being able to have the knowledge to take advantage of it. And so I'm glad you see that. So here is the support. You can see these candlesticks here. The low, 1091. It's currently at 1091. We have some risk management here of about 2%. And we'll see if it basically bounces. That's our final last straw for the support. And we see it start to sell off now. And so we had a really green day Monday and Tuesday. So far in this trade, unless it miraculously, well, I guess it wouldn't be miraculous. There is a support here. It's fairly vague, but there is a support here. Let's see if it bounces. Oh, there is some buy volume kicking in there. There's some buy volume, so it was just at 1089 and it just shot up to $11.03. Okay. Gabber says major money is made in the first 30 minutes of the day. If we start 2:30 p.m., I believe that's in the UK, 2:30 in the UK, we can't learn anything. It's more about learning. But if we do that of our own, that's risky and more chances of losing money. Okay. Oh, you mean so like because you don't have the preparation to be ready to take advantage of the opportunity that happens within the first 30 seconds of the day. That's true. That's true. I see what you're saying. If the market is red, should we trade? Yes. Well, it depends. If the market's really being, and look at that, guys, that support perfectly validated. So we actually did see this support that we patiently waited, and it did bounce. So it validated. Imagine if we just sold and we said, okay, that's it. Then we already would have missed out on basically $75. So just keep that in mind. Just that patience, that really pays. Okay. And Andre says, if the market is red, should we trade? I usually say that if if the market is very red, then we are a lot more cautionary because it could pull the rest of everything down. Today, we saw the market start down 1%, but it's starting to basically recover from that. You see, it started this right here. Where was market open? Market open was right here, so it started down and then it recovered. And so we did see it. Wow, look at that sell off right at pre-market, pretty big, right? But overall, we do see this recovery start to happen. It pushed up above this SMA, kind of validated the SMA a little bit, and we're seeing it potentially recover. So if the momentum was still just really downtrending, then yeah, we don't want to trade something because it could pull the rest of the market down. And Tictin Express says, what are your thoughts on BBAI and Rocket Lab? That's a good question. Let me take a look at this position that we're in on Rigetti really quick. See how this is doing. Started to see this recovery. Patiently waited here at the support. Kind of start to see the zone start to establish itself. Okay, so you were wondering on... So Space Tech is down today. Most of Space Tech is down. You can see Planet Labs, ASTS, Rocket Lab, KULR stock is down. I think Rocket Lab is down about 1%. Here you can see it's down to $27. Rocket Lab is one of the most consistent patterns that we've had. And then someone says, and then they said, what about BBAI as well? So we'll take a look. When we look at Rocket Lab, the reason I've covered it so much on the channel is like, look how consistent the pattern is. Just really liked the consistency of Rocket Lab. I have a friend that works at Rocket Lab actually, and we've been trading it since 2022. And you can see the support here. I think it's more on the buy side right now. You can see if we drop to the 3-month again, start to see this trend develop. Kind of like right here. See that trend? So that's pretty consistent. And I always see Rocket Lab as consistent. The thing that happens with Rocket Lab a lot of times is the moves do take longer than expected sometimes. And sometimes, like for example, you might have bought right here because you're thinking like, oh, here's a trend, but then it drops an extra 1.5% before recovering. And the same thing could be true here. You know, it's actually getting kind of large cap, so it's moving slower. And so it could be that the trend is more or less like this, and it's going to sell off more, but it has been really consistent. It's been so consistent. I could see it selling off down to like $25 before continuing up. That's how I might play it. But you could also buy it as it looks like more of a buy, and then play it closely and see how it reacts as you get into it. So that's kind of how Rocket Lab looks. And then when it comes to BBAI, and what was the other question? Someone said, does pre-market dip in the morning come as a result of the CPI inflation report? Yeah, so they said CPI inflation was higher today, if I believe so. I believe that inflation came in higher. So last CPI report, inflation came in lower. But we could see inflation rose unexpectedly in January. You see that? So it was under 3%, and then it popped up to basically 8% at one point. Here, is that right? No, that's not right. That is over. How much did it pop up here? It went over 3%. Just over 3% in January. So the last inflation report was below 3% right here, and it just popped up a little bit. So the trend Kind of looks like it's rising a little bit. Okay, so we'll see what that looks like. It kind of stabilized here back down to under 3% last time. That's why the market's been going up so much. So now it's still just at 3%, just below 3% is what it's at. And so it's still fairly healthy. I would say under 3% is good. That's why we didn't see a massive tank, but we definitely saw the market sell off this morning. We definitely see a sell off. Okay, and then BBAI. I just did a video. If you'd like to know about BBAI, we just did a video on it earlier at the end of the day, yesterday. So you can go check out the channel. Would be happy to do that again. And then today you can see it's up another 4%. It is kind of playing into this hyper bullish movement. We'll see. It's trying to hold that hyper bullish movement. It dropped below the 200-day moving average. So we'll see if it holds that. But yeah, it's up to $8. We started covering the stock back at $2. Isn't that amazing? I have a position, small position over my Schwab, which I gotta make a video about that because my Schwab portfolio is like not allowing me to trade right now. I don't know what's going on there. What happened to quantum stocks yesterday? IONQ, Rigetti, D-Wave, they were all down. Anything to do with Google investments in Q era? Yeah, I think it was fairly healthy. We're talking about a sell-off here that was kind of getting back into trend a little bit. I don't know that it was the most aggressive sell-off. It was a sell-off for sure. But you kind of start to see this trend develop, and it's okay if it's not. It's most likely not going to be extremely fast. We do see recovery today after we just got in, and so we're monitoring it closely, and we'll see. But yeah, I don't think it's anything to be worried about. It's quite often even before we had the crash from Nvidia. There's days where, yeah, we have these 50% days where it goes up, but there's days where it drops, 5-10%. It's quite normal. It's very, very normal in a space like quantum computing. And Lusty says, Rigetti is up, let's go. Yeah, so it's up since we bought it here in this live session. Ralph says, what are your long hold positions and what stocks do you typically day trade? That's a great question. Long hold positions, we got Nvidia, we have some Microsoft, we have some AMD, we're in Rigetti, Big Bear AI, Rocket Lab. Been in Rocket Lab for a while. As I told you, I helped my friend write his application cover letter for working there, actually. You know what line did it that people bought into was, I will code your thermodynamic software while I'm folding a taco with one hand. That was the opening line. Pretty humorous. But yeah, so yeah, those companies, Tesla, yeah, we do have some long in Tesla and Meta. And then we also have long on Bitcoin and some other cryptos as well. Okay, and Dex says, appreciate you sharing your time with us. It's very interesting. For a laugh, can we show BURU on 30-second time frame? Absolutely shambles of a chart. Blue laser tech with patents and restructure pennies right now. I'll take a look. I'll write it down. I'll write it down. So what is it? Okay, got it. All right. Gabru says, Fed says they are unlikely to cut interest rates at least until September. That's very true. There's like a 95% chance that they will not cut interest rates until September. So that is true. And again, we're in this position. We're kind of starting to see it trend upwards here. Let's see if it holds. Stayed patient. We've stayed very patient on this one. You guys remember we got in right here. It shot up and we were up $70, and then we waited on this dip here down to 1090, and then now it's at 1130. It's been quite the patient ride here on Rigetti. Daniel says, yeah, so that was part of what this crash was in the market. Before I get to Daniel's question, Gabru says that the reason why they're not having a lot of interest rate cuts for this year, and so that's true. If you look at the longer term outlook, this market dip in Rigetti right here was mid-December. That happened as a result of them saying we're gonna have less interest rate cuts this year. So that's the market didn't like that. The market didn't like to hear that there's going to be less interest rate cuts. That basically means prices are going to stay high, in other words. Okay, so let's take a look here. In Daniel says, bought when you bought ASTS at 19, still holding. When are you buying again? Nice. Yeah, ASTS is a great stock. I actually started buying this stock at $4 a share with my friend that works at Rocket Lab, which is crazy. It was 2022. But it was at $2 a share at one point this year. Yeah, it's pushed up quite a bit. It looks a little overextended in my eyes. I think it's overextended. It is in this resistance zone around $30, and you could see it get rejected. I think it has a greater chance of selling off right now than it does continuing up. I would look for a sell-off down to this $21 range, somewhere in here, before buying back. That's what I would look at. When it comes down to like the RSI and MACD, you just start to see it crossover, starting to look like it's aiming towards what will be more of a sell-off. It's pretty high above that moving average, similar to what you see when it shot up above that moving average. It would make sense to see it sell down. Okay. Sajid Rana, yesterday I bought Hood calls at strike price, $55. All right, let's take a look at Hood. A lot of questions around this stock. And I just need, was it pre-market or was it after? So inside of StockMate, guys, we have our earnings that we post each week with price targets for all stocks, including our chart analysis and what we see happening for all the stocks. But one of the things is we have our earnings for StockMate, so you can actually see what companies are reporting earnings. And Robinhood is today, after hours. So we'll take a look there. Yeah, so it's up about 3% today. Quite a lot of talk around Robinhood today. So you got a $55 strike. Expiration February 21st. That's a really close. Yeah, I think that's smart though. Yeah, but that's a really close expiration date. But that makes sense. That's a good trade, especially if earnings. I'm literally imagining that earnings today are going to be quite good. If there was one time where I would buy a company before earnings, it might be Robinhood. I was so grossly invested in watching how they operated in this last quarter because I was using Robinhood, that there's so many different things they did that would spike their revenue. They added more cryptos. They added more promotion for Robinhood Gold. They added a credit card line, which they hadn't previously really had. And then they also had the thing where you could bet for which president you thought was going to win the election. And I ran the math on that, and that hauled in, I believe, over $100 million. So they definitely added to their revenue in the last quarter. I mean, unless they went out and spent like some insane amount of money on some research development or some data center that's going to like drive their profit down or something like that. But I don't think so. I think they crushed it. So yeah, I would imagine like Yeah, I think our price targets were about $62 for Hood. If I go back into StockMate and see what we estimated, but I'd have to see. Kevin says WIMI is up 5.6%, 5 to 6%. Awesome, Kevin. Happy to hear that you're doing well. Our Rigetti position is patiently making gains of just under 1%. So, you know, it's a lot of patience today, but we're watching it here. It's up $25 so far. It's been a longer trade that we dragged out through this live session. This live session's running late. If you guys want to be in live sessions like this every single day at market open and see me trade live, where my entries are, where my exits are, surround yourself with other traders and investors. We got over 100 right now, but normally we have around 20 to 30 people that are all in StockMate. And if you want to surround yourself with other highly motivated, these guys are bringing some of the best outlooks to different stocks every single morning as well. It's not just me, but there's good traders and investors in here. You want to surround yourself with them, it's the second link down below. Or it might be the first link in this stream. I'm not quite sure. I think it's just the first link. And there's a special discount only available in this live stream there. Okay, and Kevin says, hi, Will, good morning, good morning. Jason says, are you expecting big jumps when earnings come out? Yeah, like I said, I would expect that. That's what I would expect. I don't really have any too many worries around whether or not they made money in the last quarter. I think just being closely watching the company, I think you can run math on certain things and see that their revenue jumped. Are you in KULR stock? Or at this moment, I'm actually not in KULR stock. Been in KULR stock quite often. How's it doing today? It's down about 1.6%. The volume looks fairly low. That's interesting. It's still holding around this consolidation. I think that's what happened actually. So it was yesterday and the day before it spiked up to this resistance and it got rejected, and that's a previous resistance. And so basically with KULR, I was waiting to see if it breaks above would be hyper bullish. Otherwise, we could see it bounce back down to this support here, or this rising support that we have for the overall trend of KULR before getting in. So that's actually where we are at with KULR stock. It's at $2.34, and we saw it here. That's a great question. Appreciate that. But yeah, we'd look for a sell down to like 210, 212. A little bit less risk now, as it did get rejected and sold off what was about 15% from that high. So a little bit less risk now. I like the overall direction of KULR stock. I think this isn't a pump and dump or anything like that. I actually see it getting momentum. There's a lot of fundamentals that we went over that indicate that it could potentially have momentum. It's just struggling to break out of this $2.60 range. That's why we're not in it at this moment. But we'll see. We will see. I think we'll be keeping you updated. We trade it oftentimes we do trade it live at market open quite often. I think we've, not this week, but definitely pretty often. So again, we're still in this Rigetti position. And let's get back into the comments. I want to see what you guys had to say. How many of you guys are enjoying the live session so far and feel like you would you'd make more money as a result of being here? How many of you think you would make more money as a result of being here in the live session? Just type yes in the chat if you agree. Being around people like myself, people like the others in the chat that are all identifying opportunities in the market, and we mastermind together to pool our thoughts and come up with some opportunities and take advantage of them, that you have a greater chance of making money when in these live sessions. It's a lot of probabilities. It's like we look at, yeah, absolutely. We see yes, yes, sir, absolutely, of course, and for sure. And the reality is like we're stacking probabilities for finding investments. We look at the RSI, we look at the MACD, we look at the chart of the support and resistance, we look at the moving averages, we look at the EMA. Now we're looking at entries and exits. But then we go into fundamentals. We look at the news, we look at the financials, and we also look at the market. Is the market growing? And all these things. And when it comes down to it, you're stacking probabilities. You're putting all these things in your favor to say, does this all indicate? We're not just kind of relying on one thing. And the same thing is true for yourself. You want to stack things in your favor. Are you around the people that are giving you the best probability? Are you getting the earnings reports like this and the price targets for the companies? Are you able to ask questions from somebody that can answer your questions? Are you getting the books? Let's see, where were the books at? Over here. Let's see if I can navigate. There's a video on how to navigate, and I'm like, how am I navigating? All right. And then you're going through the books. You're getting the mindsets. You're learning ordinary versus profitable. And you're here learning and growing with yourself. Of course, you're gonna stack the probabilities in your favor. And so, yeah, of course, you're gonna make dramatically more money by being around people and getting the programming, the thoughts to be able to do so. I love it. I love to see it just overwhelmingly yes from people. Awesome. Archer raises $300 million from BlackRock. Let's head on over to aviation. Yeah, you see, they're kind of at a support. Let's see what their last 3 months look like. They've been consolidating. It's quite interesting. There is this, call it what you want, but it is definitely a trend of some sort that is starting to develop. It's not the most aggressive trend, but I kind of like to see it. There's actually 2 levels. I love when we get into levels when identifying uptrends, kind of like this, and you have this resistance, 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 and the support. But then you also have a third level. I mean, there's usually multiple levels. It's kind of the same thing as going left to right. There's a third level there. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, Archer, it seems to be at a support. I haven't looked deep in the fundamentals or the 3-part analysis because we haven't covered it on the channel, but I've done some independent research. Certain things look promising. Other things there's some gaps to fill in. Right now, chart's indicating more of a buy, but that's just on the chart side. I got to look at the actual company. Yeah, I mean, because look at the support risk to reward. There is a time when we saw it back below this range here, but it was November. Not to say it couldn't go there, but just looking at the support, this rising support, how consistent it's been, and then that in comparison to where it's gone to here, I do see some potential as far as the technicals go. Just the technicals, solely the technicals, not really looking at anything else. And I don't really trade solely on technicals. Usually we want the underlying company to be more valuable, if that makes sense. It's just, again, stacking the probabilities. Okay, we got W's, people saying W. I love that. Elam says, Will, what do you think about RR stock? Yeah, we'll take a look. We just did a video. I don't know if you caught it. Did you see this video we just did on Rich Tech Robotics? It was right here, top 3 robotic stocks. We just did this video. Go check it out. There's 4,700 people that already saw this video. And so go take a look. I'll leave the link down below. There you go, Elam. you can have that link. So if you want to check that out. Okay. Where were we? Okay. Whoa, wow. There's a lot of messages. Really appreciate you guys, man. Love the support. It's awesome, man. We're growing so fast here, and it's all because of you guys, and I really appreciate you. It's so funny too. I was just talking with Tammy, and I made a post about it, but like, it's so funny because like I'll post a picture with my wife or something, and it's like the sunset or something, and you guys are like, "What's BBAI doing today?" Or, "Hey, I just saw Nvidia did boom boom boom." It's so funny. It cracks me up. Literally cracks me up. All right, so trying to catch back onto the chart there, or sorry, the chat here. What does the chat say? Lusty Steve, are you gonna trade Rigetti tomorrow? Hard to say right now. We'll see how it reacts today. I would imagine in a perfect world, I'd expect this trade to go quite well today. Push up here, even in a $12 range, quite possible. And in the event that that happens, you know, possibly sell and then look for a buyback in at a dip tomorrow. It's kind of how we're, I mean, that's the expectation. But again, the further out we're predicting, it's kind of hard for me to, there's some margin of error that could occur. But right now, this trade, we've been patient with it. We're up, we bought right here. This is our price. And we waited through a dip here, and we're up $115 so far. So that will pay for our phone bill, maybe, or that will pay for our some of our groceries here for the week. Things like that, you know. I don't. How many of you guys like an extra $100 or something changes things? And some of you guys are like, I need to make an extra 10,000 or 100,000. You know, there's different temperatures of where people are coming in the investing space from. For me, you know, if I'm making a couple $1,000s a week or more, a couple thousand, maybe 5 or 10,000 a month, I'm like a very happy investor. Like I'm a happy trader. You know, what does that require? It requires, you know, a couple $100s a day or a couple thousand here and there. And so it really comes down to numbers. Like right now, you know, we're locking in. I think yesterday was around a $200 trade. The day before that, I don't know exactly what it is. I got to look. But we if we're making over 150 a day, then we're at, what is that? $4,500 of making money work for you. Your money made you $4,500 extra that month if that's what you're making per day. Now, it could be incremental as your account grows and things like that. But anyway, the reason I bring that up is because some people see this, and I've had people comment and they're like, peanuts, when I just had a $1,000 day on Tesla or something. They're like, peanuts, that's like tiny. And then I've had other people say like, that would be insane and change my whole life right now because I need to change my alternator in my car. You know, like things like that. So yeah. How many of you guys but that's a lot of focusing on the percentage. Focusing on the percentage really makes a difference too. Okay, Sajid says, thanks so much for the analysis on Hood. One analyst told me next 2 months on Hood go to 200%. Feels so happy first time chatting in your live stream. Yeah, happy to have you here. Glad it was helpful. Anita says, yes. Hey, Anita, I'm glad that I don't know if you saw, we looked at GRRR today. It was up quite a bit, I believe. If I'm correct, you sent me a message inside of StockMate asking me to do an analysis of GRRR. Look at that. It's really had this trend. It's quite bullish. It's starting to break out. It broke out from this support and resistance. And I just need to make sure, was that in the main chat? Okay, it was Anita. I think this is the same Anita. So thanks for tuning into live session. And is there any news on CTM? I'm not in CTM at the moment, but we see a really nice recovery there. Starting to see it break out. It's in the golden ratio right now. So this is a stock that is at $1.05. And if we take a look at that Fibonacci sequence, which is more advanced, but yeah, it's actually does look like a buy. And so I'll be monitoring it. We've been trading it on and off quite a bit. We traded it yesterday and today. So yeah, definitely CTM. I see a lot of potential. I see a lot of potential for it to continue to gain some of its momentum. It's quite interesting. You know, they have a lot of contracts in government, and they recently got this Oasis Plus, which means they're on-demand support for cybersecurity in the government, which usually ties into something big. The thing about this company is they're only like a 64 million or something like that market cap. Let me just check. So, you know, a lot of volatility, a lot of potential risk. But what I liked is their revenue is at 11 million. Yeah, they got a negative net income, but they've really been up year over year. When you look at their year over year stats, for the most part, they've been up year over year. And then when you look at their overview, their market cap's just at 73 million. To me, I find that to be quite interesting. They had some contracts as well. You can see they're being compared to BBAI there, which is up 12% today. So it's quite interesting. Going to be watching that one. Thanks for bringing it to the attention. Jason says, Jason Kempen, bought some more Rigetti today, 1096. Now it's starting to push. Only reason I bought is because of you, so thank you. I love you guys, but also just realize, you know, when in these stock, I don't know if you're Jason, I believe you are not a stockmate. I don't recognize maybe that you've been here, but we go live every single morning. This is an exclusive live stream normally. The only reason we're live here is because it was a KULR stock video about 3 days ago. I said if this gets 300 likes, we'll have one live session on stockmate available to the public, and we'll go extra long. And that's exactly what we did. So glad it was helpful. You know, glad you're able to take advantage of the move. At the same time, the whole point of Stockmate is to put you in a position to be able to make educated investments on your own without having to look or copy me. But in the event that you do copy me, I do give you my exact entries and exits, or where I plan to sell each stock before signing off of any live stream. So just keep that in mind. Luke says, may only be making an extra 100 here in there for now, but we'll learn with time and do even better with time. That's the attitude, Luke. Go Rigetti. Go Rigetti. Prime time says yes. Where do you think is resistance level for Rigetti? There's a clear resistance level at 1170 where it's at right now. You see that resistance? You kind of see right here, 1170, right there. Start to see it break out though. So it just broke above. Hopefully it uses it as a support here or continues to soar. And now it's going to get into this resistance level as well. So just as this was support, it's actually most likely going to act as a resistance for Rigetti stock too. And so we do see it breaking out, but again, it's right at this support. You see that? Support at 1190. So we'll see how it breaks if it holds. And then the next level would be a little bit higher here. See that resistance at 1190, $11.90. There's a resistance. So again, right now it's at right now it's at 1183. So it did get a little rejected at that 1190. See, but it's still trying to rally. We do see it break up above this level, so continuing some of the bullish momentum. Well, again, we got in right here, patiently waited, and now we're up about $250,000. Okay, yeah, Anita, no problem, happy to help. And Michael says, just joined, will it show me every morning now? This is the first time I've made any money on BBAI. I'm not sure what you're referring to that you just joined, Michael. Let me know. Let me know what it is that you just joined. Andres Wave says, spaghetti is rocketing. Spaghetti is rocking. I love the spaghetti reference. There's this epic photo of this AI generated hilarious. Maybe I can go show you guys. It's such an epic photo. We go over to posts here, and this photo right here. It's like a quantum. This is generated using Google. I was like, I should probably post something here. We just hit 10,000 subscribers. This is just a little bit over a month ago. And I was like, we're on the road to 100,000. Let's post something. And I was like, looking, and Google says, try and use our AI generator. And I was like, a spaghetti quantum computer. And it created this epic rigetti spaghetti. I actually really liked it. It's probably my favorite AI artwork that I've seen. It's pretty epic. Okay, all right, and congratulations, Paul. Happy to have you here in Stockmate. We'll see you at the live session tomorrow morning, and don't forget to go check out some of the earnings for today. If you head over into discussion, if you go to learning, you can get to learning here and jump into Stockmate lifetime access here. You could get A to Z. There's options, stocks, fundamentals, basics, advanced, technical analysis, crypto. But if you're over here in the members area and you head over to, where was it? We just posted it. 1 day ago. You can see the earnings for this week, Stockmate earnings. If you want to see what companies are reporting, again, we got Robinhood after hours. So happy to have you there, Paul. Okay, and let's see. Sam says, thank you, Will. George's, yeah, no problem. Absolutely. George's says, what do you think about INVZ stock? I'll write it down. I have a few stocks that I'm writing down from you guys. Potentially we'll analyze it here, but got it written down. Jason Kempin says, I actually bought it based on your videos. I bought it before and saw the stream today. Hey, that's cool. So we did see a little bit of a sell-off down to this EMA. So it's kind of similar to what you see in the EMA. It looks a little bit more prominent, but that's something to consider because we just mapped out this resistance at 1180. And it did kind of get rejected. And so now we're looking at it. I would expect it to continue up, but nevertheless, you got to respect this trend that, hey, is it going to hold above this EMA? It's been about an hour long rally here to make that, well, not even an hour. But it's been, a significant amount of time. I'd say 30 minutes to 45 minutes of seeing this rally take place. So let's see if it holds and does continue the rally throughout the day, or if it breaks pattern here. Take a look. Righty. See, Jason. So Rye says thank you. Absolutely, Rye. Not exactly sure what it is that you're saying thank you for, but happy to help. Jason says, just learning a lot from you on how to read the market better. I love that. Happy to hear that you're learning, and that's what it's all about. I get my mind blown by this thing where it's like, it's not that those opportunities aren't always there. They are always there. It's just a matter of having the knowledge to capitalize on them. And the answer is always you knowing or not knowing how to capitalize on those opportunities. Isn't that amazing? I feel like that's something people don't realize. They think that the reason that they don't have the results they want is because like the government or because the inflation report or whatever it is, but it literally comes down to you. Like, that's what people tell me, like, oh, now I know how to take advantage of these market swings and now I'm making money. It's like literally a few pieces of knowledge can change the way that it changes your entire experience. And it was always just you knowing that. It's not like that opportunity just appeared and now it exists. No, it's always existed. I love that. Like, that's something I just realized. I read it in a book. It's called The E-Myth Revisited. And it was giving me some really good ideas. It even gave me this idea for Stockmate to potentially create a franchise of sorts where like I could set up a similar setup that I have for my whole Stockmate system and allow someone that's a creator that wants to cover stocks and have a YouTube channel to create their own YouTube channel where they do analysis and research, because there's also really good traders and investors out there, and there's a pretty good proven way to create engaging content and also bring value. I mean, it comes down to bringing value. You know, you got to develop some skills. It takes a massive amount of training, but I don't know. I had that idea from that book too, and I was like, whoa, that would be cool. Imagine that, something like that. That'd be cool. Someone got into D-Wave. They say, I got in late and break even at $6 USD. What do you think? Should I get out? I saw, you know, I had my eye on it because it was starting to trend earlier than Rigetti stock. Right now it's holding pattern. So I don't see any indication to sell. Yeah, I mean, it's holding pattern. It's the same thing with the Rigetti. Like, we're seeing it and we're like, we're not going to sell until we have more indication that it's not going to hold this pattern. So right now I would say, you know, you're in a really good position. Oh, but you got in late at $6. Ah, I see. So again, this is okay. So you got in late a little bit. So basically, just to kind of like look at the trend. You see how a trend develops here? So same thing here. You could kind of look at this trend develop. Okay, and here's the support. Here is the resistance. And essentially what you did is you bought right at the resistance. So you bought at $6. That's impressive you bought at $6 because that is the actual like high. And so now it's back down to the support. So I wouldn't say it's going to sell down, but you know, now you want to see if it holds above, you know, $5.90, $5.85, if it holds this level here. Because if it were to not hold this level, then you might want to sell, because you would want to do that even if you had just bought here at the support. But other than that, you know, I would just be patient, and you got in at $6, so you may have to wait a little bit. If it's going to continue this trend, more than likely it would go above $6. But again, you know, you did buy at the top, so you just got to, you know, watch it closely. Again, I would probably sell if I saw it break below 580 to 590 and start to really get out of this trend. But yeah, it's just that you bought at the top there. But that's okay. You know, look at the support and resistance, and, you know, just try and aim more for a little bit less risk on your next trade. Michael says, can you go to BBAI? It's having a crazy run up right now. Yeah, we could take a look here. BBAI. Wow, 12%. Yeah, it's up almost $1 today again. Look at that. So it's actually pressing back up to these levels that we saw it get into earlier, and it's holding the hyper bull case. So this was the hyper bull case we kind of mapped out. We said it's possible it sells down, but look at this trend starting to develop. So the next target is actually kind of like up here in this $10 range. It is at a resistance. See this resistance here? So you got $9.20, $9.30, some consolidation. So it does have to get over that hurdle. I think it's more likely it sells down a little bit. Look at the RSI and the MACD looking pretty overbought. But again, it could be hyper bullish. So personally, I'm holding some BBAI long term. I'm not doing any trades at the moment. I think overall the entire stock's a tiny bit overextended. I mean, this is the course of a few months right here, and it really shot up. Hyper bullish, yeah, it does. It's there, but it's still kind of, it looks very overextended. I see their contracts, and I like it. I like the contracts they have. The financials look okay. But yeah, for me, I was just, it's a little more risk. But I might get in. I mean, we've been trading it. We traded Friday. We'll most likely still continue to trade it short term. Right now, I wouldn't buy. this morning at market open was considering buying as we saw it dip down there before recovering. So I think it actually was more like a 20% swing. It was at 750. Yeah, 22% swing there in the course of about an hour. So yeah, there's a lot of opportunities for the dip buys. Today we just decided to get into Rigetti stock. But yeah, I mean, contract wise, I just did a video on it yesterday, so feel free to take a look at it. So when I posted in the PM. And then let's get back over to Quantum. Seeing some of the sell-off take place here on Rigetti. We're going to take a look here. It is kind of looking like a little bit of a break in pattern. You see how it dropped below that EMA? So now at this point, I'm going to use this previous resistance here. You see this resistance at around 1160 as my next support and see if it holds. So that's where I'm going to be looking. Okay, and then when it comes to Kevin says QBTS is up 11%. Let's go, Kevin. Happy things are going good. Steve says W. I just love Steve's W's. I'll be like scrolling through and sometimes, and I love the complicated stuff too, but someone will say like, I noticed that the qubit fidelity is becoming more advanced and that this company has 900 qubits, but this company has 400 qubits. And based on that, is the one with 400 qubits still going to outperform the 900 qubit just because they have better fidelity and their chips are better or something? And I'm like, and I get into this crazy answer or something like that. And then the next thing I just see Steve and he's like, W. I'm like, Steve, let's go. William Walker, I'm new to all this. Gotten BBI at $6.65. That's the new bottom. What's my stop loss? I don't know. You tell me. Thoughts on XTIA? Will it ever get past $10? I was excited about the stock, actually. And it has been down tremendously. And look at that downtrend, basically, for the past month. At one point, it spiked just in a matter of hours to $5.21. But it's basically, and actually at one point it spiked to $62. That was an insane, I wasn't in for that. I don't even know what's going on with this stock. But they had some VTOL airplanes, some aviation VTOLs that are electronically powered, I believe. Let me just make sure. XTI Aerospace, and I don't see, let's see the overview. They have a lot of press releases, a lot of overview related to press releases. It's kind of interesting that we don't see their actual products. It's kind of interesting. Yeah, they have these VTOL. It seems like it's mostly like computer generated. I saw one that was in real life. So it seemed pretty cool. And I saw one of these at CES. I personally get really excited to see those. I don't know if they're fully electric. I think they might be fully electric, but they're VTOLs like this. So you can fly, but you can also like helicopter. And they talk about how like private jets need a runway. This one doesn't need a runway, but it can fly like way up in space efficiently. I don't know. I really like I like the technology, but the stock is just like, it's ridiculous. There's no volume, and then there's a ton of volume, and yeah, you see I have like a tiny position that I took that was just to basically add it to my watch list. That's why I got it. And I only invested one share, so like $15 or something like that. Anyway, that is funny. So Rigetti is holding pattern or no? Let's see how it looks. And let's get back to the comments. What are you guys going on? So it's holding pattern. You can see it's holding above that EMA. Rigetti stock, we're up a little bit over $200. Tesla rebounded. That's interesting. Today was the one day where we almost traded Tesla in the past few weeks. Been seeing it sell off big time. Kevin Ackerman, why did you choose to watch Rigetti today as other quantum stocks or some other stock in a different space? For me, when you're watching certain stocks, sometimes you can see how they behave in certain ways. And the way that I see Rigetti behave is fairly predictable for me. You can see a lot of times where it just sells off right at market open and it recovers. And you can see the whole quantum market is fairly correlated. I find that Rigetti, out of all the companies, when that dip happens, that the dip seems to be smaller, but the gains throughout the day seem to be bigger. Does that make sense? And the reason I say that is the reality of Rigetti too is that they have some of the biggest backing. They got BlackRock, Vanguard, Charles Schwab, Nvidia. They got a lot of backing in their company, and that's why. So I also like that, and to see that is good. But the other ones are great. We cover them all. We trade them all, really. That's a great question. Michael says, would you say BBAI is a sell, buy, hold right now with the crazy swings? I would say that it is a hold short term with near term volatility expected, and then most likely a buy or a hold, leaning towards a hold long term. I wouldn't say it's a sell. I would between a sell and a hold on the short term, but most likely like towards hold. I'm a little bit more bullish on it. I'm going to short BBAI. That's the next question. Someone says I'm going to short BBAI. So that the next one, yeah. So I say hold. People say short. Michael Ruckers says, thanks, man. I appreciate it. Absolutely. AJ says, Rigetti, BBAI, KULR, QBTS. Can we take short-term profits? I would say, craft a plan, identify levels, come up with the plan that you're comfortable with, and then execute on it. Michael Tucker, see you in the morning. See you in the morning, Will. Excited. Happy to see you tomorrow. Sounds great. KULR, buy the dip. Again, I'd look at the plan, look at the levels. Watch one of the videos we'll come out with today. Then make a decision. I believe you mentioned in your last video about them buying at $2.40. It's now at $2.29 now. Which stock is it that you're mentioning? KULR? Is that what you're saying? In the last video on KULR, I didn't say it was a buy anywhere in the video, but I did say that it was nearing the support. It was nearing the support. So there's this rising trend. And I think it wasn't Friday. I think it was Monday. And it was somewhere in here, 240. What is that at? 231? Yeah, so $2.31. I think that right now, these swings that happen, it has been bouncing back and forth between this consolidation range, and it's quite possible we see it sell off more. I think I just covered it this morning, and I was saying I would imagine it would sell off more down to 210. But there's things that affect it. If you see Bitcoin up tremendously, that just builds some investor sentiment around the company because they have $50 million in Bitcoin. Not saying that's a good or anything other than a speculative way to look at the stock, but they also have some other contracts that you want to look at related to their batteries and their drone tech. They got some contracts with Naval Air, I believe, and also Army and Navy, and they also have their carbon composite batteries that most likely are some of the most innovative batteries that can, when it comes to being able to withstand extreme temperatures. And so they're launching with SpaceX in the rideshare mission of 2026 that they're paying SpaceX to go up into space. So, there's a lot of things that look good kind of longer term. Near term, again, it's very volatile. I don't think this is too big of a company. I believe they're like 500 to 500 million or something like that market cap. Let's see, what is their market cap? Yeah, 545 million. So, you know, they're small. I would expect a lot of volatility in the near term for that, for KULR stock. I like the stock though. There's things I like about it for sure. Definitely love to trade it at market open. We oftentimes do. It has a lot of these dips. Like when was this dip? Right at 6:15 a.m. When was this dip right here? That was after hours. When was this dip? 6 a.m. A lot of the biggest dips. When was this dip? Right at market open. What about this one? Right at market open. I swear, like, so many of the big dips happen at market open. What about this one? That one's after hours. But yeah, so we trade it at market open quite often after it dips. So I like the stock in that regard. Yeah, there's a lot of great stuff on it. I appreciate you guys sharing some of the insights too. Someone's been almost always I hear someone say like some new contract or something like that. So now we're seeing this sell off on Rigetti. Again, I think we said this previous resistance would be where we watch it. So we're going to watch here at this previous resistance around 1160. I think that's what we said. It's at 1160 right now. Let's see if it holds and we'll monitor it. Otherwise, we'll be locking in around $160 or $150 profit. But let's see if it holds, if it continues up. Michael Tucker says, I made money on Rigetti in Big Bear AI today. I ain't going to get greedy. I'm up 300 and I'm out. I love that. Michael says, I'm going to get greedy. Oh, he says, I ain't going to get, that was the last one. I was like, wow, things are really developing, Michael. You're saying you're getting greedy now, huh? No, he says, I paid to join, so I'll see you in the morning. Awesome. Yeah, we're getting a lot of great opportunities presenting themselves. So you guys want to be there. This is an exclusive live stream, but we go live every morning at market open, usually shorter, usually like at the latest about an hour, but we will have them longer as well if we're doing some of the changes that I mentioned earlier at the beginning of this live stream, where we're going to be extending the live streams for our stock mates. If you guys want to be there, it's the first link in the description, and we have an exclusive discount for you, only available to those that are tuned into this live stream right now. And the reason we're doing the live stream and why we don't do this every single day is because we had a video a few weeks ago, or a few days ago, sorry, where I said I will go live for the public if this video reaches, I think it was 300 likes, something like that, which is like more than anything we normally get on the channel. Normally, sometimes we'll get 1,000 likes, but it's like something that goes viral or something. But this was just a regular video and it crushed it. I think it got 400 likes, somewhere in there. And so that's why we're live today, to basically give a taste into what the live trading's like inside of Stockmate. So that's why we're here live right now. It's normally exclusive. Again, you can join in the link in the description if you want to be a part of it. Michael said, okay, Elam says, Will, please share some more info about the game just changed, the email, the early bird stuff. I can't reveal too much, but I think I can drop a link for you to join the early access list. It's launching on Monday, and so that's February 17. And it's a revolutionary new system that I'm putting together for traders and investors that is not focused on trade alerts. It's not focused on you getting told what to invest in by people, but it's more of like one click or tap, I should say, you can get a green light for whether or not you should be buying something or selling something. And then on top of that, there is some specialized tools that I'm putting out that are going to change the way that you approach finding deals in the markets, and how you can pinpoint opportunities in the market that would take most investors a full month to do research, and you're going to be getting it done in a matter of seconds. And so I'm really excited for that. I can drop the link as well. It is, let me drop the link in here so you can join the first access list. Would love to have you guys there again. It drops on the first thing on Monday morning, not on the first. First thing Monday morning. So let me get the link and I'll drop it here in the chat. And I'm really looking forward to, I think you guys are going to love, you're going to love it. All right, I just dropped the link there so you could join. It's free to join the first access list. And it's to get early bird when the system is revealed on Monday. Okay, CRNT, let me write it down. Okay, what about KULR? Jampa says, what about KULR? We just went over it. CRNT way oversold. That's what Ariel says. I'll take a look. William Walker says SBET. We'll take a look at that one. So we do see this support on Rigetti stock. You can see it is validating that resistance. We'll see how well it holds. That's why we didn't sell. Started to see it break pattern, but we just basically identified this resistance at around 1164 and said, or 1160, and we said, hey, if it holds this, most likely it's going to hold a bullish pattern. So it's kind of where we put it in. Mercado says they need 50 million to build the drone in 2026. HOVR is probably the one you're thinking of. I haven't heard of HOVR. So I don't think I was thinking of it, but that's really cool. Fully electric, but only 600 kilometer flight time. Interesting. Lika says the spike was split 1 by 250. Oh, okay. So you guys are talking about that one. Oh, I got to catch up in the comments. What's thoughts on Palantir? I really like Palantir. They're partnered with BBAI, which is up today. But yeah, I think that Palantir has a lot of long-term growth potential. Near-term, a lot of volatility as well. Great opportunities to trade it. And we don't trade it that often on the near term. Have some positions in it long-term. I do. But yeah, Palantir, let's see. It's at $114. It's had some volatility for sure. Starting to trend here. Yeah, it looks a little overextended on the near term to me. But that's just kind of how I would approach it. I'm not trading it right now, and I don't plan to trade it at this moment. I see other opportunities with smaller valuations that seem like more potential growth opportunities. Not that Palantir is not a good company or that it won't grow in the future. Just, you know, you just, sometimes you ask yourself, like when you're in investment, because I had some money in Palantir and it was growing and I was like, great. But you do ask yourself, like, is this the best place that I could put my money? And if you do have some sort of specialized knowledge in certain stocks and you see opportunities, sometimes you do tell yourself like, hey, it would make a whole lot of sense to go over here. If that makes sense. You should cover D-Low. I think it has so much potential. You guys gave me a ton today to check out, so I will check them out and potentially make some videos on them or drop them in our live sessions. But I see D-Low. Yeah, those are good ones. We'll definitely, tomorrow morning in our live session, we'll take a look. Apple and Alibaba. Yeah, Alibaba, oh my gosh. Wow. What a development with Alibaba. Have you guys seen their AI? Their AI is ridiculous. I don't know if you could just use it. I don't know if you're allowed to just use it. But they created this AI that is absolutely ridiculously good. It's actually saying it surpassed DeepSeek. There is some interesting stuff on that. And I believe you could buy, am I crazy? Oh, what happened? Gotta open up my Robinhood again. Do. Whoa, that's weird. Do. Um. Okay, there we go. I believe, if I'm not crazy. Yeah, Alibaba, you could trade on the stock market. Be interesting to see how it's performing today. Gonna take a look. Thanks for letting us trade with you. Absolutely happy to have you here. And we are here every day at Market Open and StockMate. Happy to have you. Why not hold on to shares of RGTI? I added a little with you at 11.20, but I have lots of shares I'm holding. Yeah, I do have some long-term in Rigetti. Somewhere around $6 a share. But today we're doing a short-term trade. That's what we're in. But we also, it's holding this level, this previous resistance. It's holding it. We'll see if it holds above. We kind of bought the dip here early at Market Open and $186. Some people say, Will, but you invested $40,000. That's nothing. No, I think we only dropped a position here, 376. So equity 4,200, under 4,200 bucks. So not a huge position. But yeah, I would say it does take a little bit of money to make some. And one of my favorite is Charles. Like, this is a good example. So Charles inside a StockMate says $1,200 gain following our live trades using 5,000 bucks. So he made an extra $600 a week trading. I'd like to see how this goes long term. I'd like to know how his returns look month over month. But he just joined in StockMate and he's been here every day. He says sometimes he can hear the live session, sometimes he's working and he's not able to chat or things like that. I don't know if you're in here, Charles. Congratulations on that big gain where you made that 1,200 gain on your 5,000. That's awesome. But the reason I say that is it depends. For some people, we talked about this earlier, but some people are like 5,000 or 4,000. That's nothing. I'm putting 400,000 into this. And some people are like, oh, I'm only putting $40 into this. It's all relative. I hope that, just by having some more equilibrium of people that are investing, that brings your equilibrium up and your account balance goes up. And so that's part of why I think it's just important to surround yourself with each other. So yeah, to answer your question, Kevin, yeah, the volatility. No, I'm still holding shares. It just keeps me from holding them. I do near term and I do long term trades. If that makes sense. So I like to do both. It works out for my portfolio. Why not hold on to share? Okay. See you tomorrow. I'm up today, Thomas. Awesome. See you tomorrow. Thanks for tuning in, Thomas. Kevin, is it volatility that keeps you? Nope. JJ says thoughts on OPTT. Got it written down. All right, guys. So out of these stocks, which ones do you want to see the most of? We got. Let me write this down. How can I do this? What would be a way to write this down? I want to know. I want to open up a Google Doc. And I want to get into a document here. And I want to write down some stocks. I want you guys to tell me. I want you to tell me which stocks you'd like to see more of. How many of you guys think which ones are going to make the most money for you? I got to be careful because I just wrote these in because you guys shared some of these, the newer ones. And so I wouldn't just screenshot this. I'm not saying screenshot this or anything like that. I'm just saying yeah, we got NVIDIA for sure. PDYN, AMD. We definitely got AMD in there. So I'm looking for a common. I want you, if you see it up here, you might already see it up here, but I want you to comment your ticker symbols that you find the most interesting. And at the same time, I'd like you to think what ones would also most likely catch interest on my YouTube channel. Because I'm not going to say that I don't pick stocks. I mean, I would say 90% of the time I pick stocks because I find them interesting. But there is definitely a 10% there where it's like, there has to be some like growth potential for viewership on YouTube as well. So I just want you guys to think about that too. I've had some people tell me about that one, Tempest. MGOL. So if you see them, you already see them here. I still want you guys to comment and say them again. Definitely got some KULRs there. Got some BBAIs. And we got some QBTSs. There you go. We got some Paladins. So I'm adding Apple stock, definitely. We got Archer. More BBAI. GRRR. Definitely got some people telling me about those ones. SoFi. I have seen people say SoFi. I'm not super interested, but I will take a look. Oh, we got RR for sure. A lot of people had told me that one. LAES, we've covered that one too. That one's a little, I like it. It's a little sketchy though, but I like it. Okay. LO. I think I got, is that nuclear? Okay, LO. But I'll add that BNAI. I don't know, Sam, is that actually or did you mean BBAI? Let me know. Because the N is right next to the B, and I'm wondering if that's a typo. I could just go search here. And that position is moving a little bit, so I'm going to have to manage it. Yeah, there is a BNAI, so I'll take a look there. So we see Rigetti kind of sell down a little bit there. It's at this previous support. Still hanging around 1160, so we'll just monitor it closely. Okay, so BNAI. What else you got? Rigetti? Yeah, I see some sell-off on Rigetti a little bit there. So it's down 1157. I'm hanging in a little bit longer. I'm going to see how this goes. This is my exit. If things don't go according to plan, it'd be about 1150. 1150 it'd sell on the short term. If you're a long-term holder, that might not be a concern to you. And then what would be looking for profit? I would love to see it get up to this previous resistance around $12. So that's, again, just so you know, $11.50 and then $12. So we'll see how it goes. Copen, C-O-P-N. Now, again, if you see anything on here, on this document right now, and you like it, tell me, and I will add some interest to it to make sure that we cover it. So, and then if you do it in not caps and then you do it in caps, it's not going to add an extra tally mark. Someone's like, I'll capitalize the R, and then they'll think it's a different person. I don't know if that was, I'm just joking with you. BBAI here. A lot more BBAI. OPTT, we can add to that. Some more interest there. MVST. So again, if there's stocks here that you see here, just because I'm put them here does not mean I will cover them. I'm going to have to confirm with you that there's interest. So just comment the ticker symbol from here, whether it's here or not, comment it so that I can add interest so I make sure that it actually does get covered or not. WIMI. RCAT. It's an interesting one. RCAT and BKY. Is that I? Palantir needs some more. KULR needs some more. LSH. I want to do this for crypto as well at some point. LSH, GRR, MSTR, MS MicroStrategy. BTQQF. IONQ. That one's had a lot of interest, so I'm going to add 2. Rocket Lab. I love that. We'll add 2 there because we do have. I'm also thinking of people that aren't in the live stream that have shown interest. I'm on to you, man. Maybe if you go into Google and you change your username and just change it to like yearly longs rather than daily shorts, and then I won't know. There's you. Some more RCAT I see. GME. Oh, now we're getting into hype. I mean, every time I do a GME, it's just like it ends within 3 minutes, and we look at the financials and we're like, nope. But okay, I'll add it. BBAI. Archer Aviation. More Rocket Lab. I like it. I'm glad that Rocket Lab's getting attention. QUBT. Lunar. All right, we're going to wrap this up. So drop your final comments here. I've actually had some people tell me that one. Drop your final ticker symbols as we wrap up the live stream. And if you guys want to be in live streams every morning where we trade live just like this, we caught a Rigetti move, a little bit over $150 on $4,000 investment. If you guys would like to watch me trade live every day, it's the link in the description, exclusively available to you if you're in this live stream. This live stream does not happen every day for people in the public. It only happened because we got a specific number of likes on a video that was awesome. So yeah. Okay, LOL. I don't know about that one. I'm just kidding, man. Wow, I needed to turn my camera around because my cat is doing some crazy stuff. You guys have to see this. This is like the most eventful live stream. Check that out. My cat is up in this tree right now. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I don't know about that. I don't know about that, my friends. That is so funny. There you go. Still got no strip on. Early morning, 6:30 a.m. All right. She should be all right. Now she's starting to look a little bit sketched out. If she falls, she's falling into water. That is crazy. She's on her way down now. Oh my gosh. She just did one of those like grab it with your hands facing straight upside down and then swing your legs around the back and catch yourself again. Oh my gosh. She survived. She's on back on the front balcony. Holy crap. You know, she's funny because when her name's Nala, which is named after like the Lion King lioness, and she when she was younger, she was in a tree like that, like 30 feet up, and she went up there when she was just a few months old, and my wife and I grabbed blankets and waited for her to fall. She walked out on a branch and fell like 40 feet, and we caught her with a blanket. She probably would have been like really messed up, but that was her experience. So she's fine climbing trees. She doesn't fall anymore. It was just that one time, but what a daredevil. Okay. Okay, we got GRAB. Oh, CTM. Definitely will cover that. Had a lot of interest in CTM, and I also I just had a curiosity myself. That's why I've been covering it recently. Some more BBAI. Some more chonk. I don't know what chonk is, man. Someone tell me. Full moon energy. Yeah, actually it was probably it was a full moon last night. Super bright. Could walk outside here in California. KULR. Will BBAI go down? Rocket Lab, GUR, QN. I get that one a lot. QN. CCF. I do get that one a lot, so I'll add 3 or 4. BB. I don't think we have BB. We don't have BB. Okay, and NKE. QBTS. A lot of interest there. Hey, you want to know something cool? If you're really interested in QBTS, are you interested in QBTS? Go sign up to my email list with that link that I dropped a bit ago. I think I could still paste it here. Maybe. Because I'm going to Qubits events next month. Okay. So if you would like to possibly go to a quantum event and meet in person, drop that early access link. If you get on that, you'll be on my email list. I believe our team already booked the flights. I'm probably going to play some golf too. If you guys play golf, you want to go play some golf in Scottsdale, Arizona. I think it's like $195 to attend this event. Maybe it's $300 to go to the event and then be on the email list. We might do a private event as well where we can meet up, talk quantum, stocks, and other things. And again, it's March 31st to April 1st. It's D-Wave's event, Qubits 2025 in Scottsdale, Arizona. Will most likely be having our own little meetup at some point there. It's at the Phoenician Resort in Scottsdale. Really beautiful place. They have some great golf. It's just not even 10 minutes from where the PGA Tour was playing. And it's a nice resort, nice place. I think it's already booked. I think I'm staying at the Phoenician. I believe my wife was saying that Tammy was saying that she booked that it was like cheaper that to go to the Phoenician than it was to go to the to an Airbnb. I gotta confirm that. But anyway, we stayed in Rigetti stock. We were patient, and it's pushed back up. We're at $240 profit so far. And we got all these great suggestions from you guys on stocks. Thank you guys for tuning in. I appreciate you all. I hope you have an amazing day. It's been a longer live stream, a full 2-hour live stream. And if you guys would like to join me at Market Open, I see your question there, Michael Hodge. Do you think CTM would be good for options? I have considered it. I was just considering that earlier today, actually. It's funny you say that. I'm going to make another video on it in the near future, and I'll have a full answer for that. Michael, going to be the best $699 I ever spent, and love cats. Thank you. See you in the morning. Awesome. And where in California are you? I'm below Hollywood sign, amigo. Hey, let's go, Kevin. I'm up in Northern California. I'm in between Sacramento and Tahoe right now. So, yeah, just basically between Sacramento and Tahoe, you just take 80 onto a highway called 49. Go on Highway 49, you go through a place called Auburn. Then you go into a place called Grass Valley. And I'm there. In the foothills, right at the base of the Sierra Nevadas. So anyway, guys, how do you attend QBTS? Join my email list in the link above, and I'll send some emails. But you could also search, we're going to have our own event, but you can also search Qubits. Just search Qubits, Qubits. And the D-Wave event is happening on March 31st, April 1st. It is where they're talking quantum. It's in Scottsdale, Arizona. It's a beautiful resort. That's where I'm staying. So we could most likely meet up. That's what I'm kind of planning. It's a beautiful place. And I look forward to being there. So we're also going to have our own event potentially. I don't have a lot of notice, but we might do some sort of mini mastermind of sorts. We'll see what happens. I've never done anything like that, but it seems like a great time to do it if there's other people there. So we'll see what happens. Awesome, guys. Thank you for tuning in. I appreciate you all. And Michael says you'd like to do some options. I'll let you know. Awesome. Sam, I know we had conversations about this. You live near Grass Valley, near Ridge Road, actually, which is awesome as well, near Reno. So that's great. Thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate you all. Hopefully you got some value out of this. If you, not saying you should ever follow my trade, but if you were observing, you've seen that we made about $250 profit so far today, and we'll be monitoring this position throughout the day. Thank you guys again. We're sell point, just to overview, we'd be selling around probably at this point, now that we're pushed back up, probably 1160, 1168. 1168 is probably our sell point, maybe in here. At the lowest, 1145 at the lowest. And then our profit, we'd be looking to sell, I'd like to sell above $12. We'll see how it runs today, if it continues to run or what that looks like. Thank you guys again for watching. If I earned your thumbs up, smash that like button. I need to know that we want to do more live sessions. Hit the like button if you enjoyed. And this has been an exclusive live stream for StockMate. If you want to tune in live, watch me trade live, get access to books like this, see a community where you can surround yourself with other traders and investors, and then also get the earnings. For example, we have targets for all the stocks here this week, and then also some earnings that are coming up exclusively here inside of StockMate. It's the first link below, and you can get a specialized discount just for this stream. So I appreciate you all. Hopefully you have a great rest of your day. Let's crush it today. See you guys in the next live stream. Take care.